race for Week 2 ALTTPR League. This is Season 5, and we have a matchup against NDA, standing for Never Disclosing Acronyms, and Flute by Night. This is Reg versus Captain 1977. I am Hammerbro in the booth, and I am joined by TJ. How you doing, man?
Hello, Hammer Man. How you doing? What's going on?
I'm doing okay. I'm just sitting here watching people play a mode that I am so happy I don't have to play and hoping to make fun of people a little bit. How about you?
I love Inversion. I love Inverted in general. I think it's one of my favorite world states, and looks like everything's going according to plan. We got a bomb drop. That's good. So you kind of want to see a bomb drop here so you can get into Hype Cave, see Johnny 2 Bombs, get something. I'm expecting an early Moon Pearl here. Inverted tends to push you into the light world really fast, so yeah, there you go. What we got from Johnny today? Oh yeah, let's go. Let's go! We got a fire rod this early? Oh my gosh. Wow, this is a... Whoa, okay. So
wait, did we just go back 5 years? That was Hype Cave is correct.
Oh, Johnny 2 Bombs with the hookup. Let's go. So let me tell you why that fire rod is like really bad, by the way. So a lot of people tend to avoid Inverted for the early boss fights that require like low percent and really low hearts, really low defense. The fire rod in this mode, by the way, the big keys are shuffled so that an early blind isn't likely to happen, right? There's a lot of stuff that needs to go into that. However, since small keys aren't shuffled, a fire rod instantly puts Mothula into logic.
Yeah, Mothula is that one boss that does not require a big key within logic to do so.
Correct.
So it's... Although, thankfully, we did also pop a blue goo and an upgrade to that sword. So we are sitting on Master Sword. So it's not going to be as bad as it could be. But it's still not going to feel good.
That's pretty good. That's pretty darn good. That is extremely good.
Both of our runners being very familiar with the 50-50 bush there, which is nice. Bombs early on are really important. Honestly, everything's really important early on in Inverted because you get so little of it, and because there's way less in the way of early item checks, finding stuff like rupees and bombs and arrows if needed can be really a pain in the butt.
Pretty much. It's why all right. So there's really not many places you can go from the starting locations you have in Inverted sets. You have the Dark Overall, which includes the Stumpy, Johnny 2 Bombs, as you just saw, the Village of Outcasts, and the Dig Game. And you have 2 dungeons you can enter right off the bat. You have the front of Thieves Town, and you have Skull Woods. This mode is big key shuffled, so they all have one extra item that they normally would have inside of it. Oh, good, a mushroom. So you're really bottlenecked as to what you can possibly get here, and the logic usually will shuffle you out into the light world as soon as possible. The problem with that is that the available checks after you have light world access just completely flood everything, and you're not starting in the light world, so routing it becomes pretty difficult. So it's just basically get your light world access, pick a direction, and go. And hope everything works out in your favor.
Yeah, absolutely. All those Sphere 1 checks that we talk about in a non-inverted seed become like anywhere between Sphere 2 and Sphere 7 based upon how lucky you are in getting access to the light world. And you end up having like 30, 40, 50, 60 checks that are just immediately available right now. And it's really difficult to figure out where you want to go and where can you go and how quickly can you get there and how can you route all of it so you don't have to S and Q 4 times.
It's not easy. Oh, that was really that was a very, very unfortunate and unlucky death.
Ray got ghosted.
There. Yeah, ghosted. Hit into oblivion. Well, I like his routing here. He knows that Mothula is in logic, so he's heading to Thieves Town first, possibly to get some more safeties to prepare him for that ridiculous fight.
Well, we're also going to need some magic from somewhere.
Like, there are plenty of places in Skullwoods for magic.
Yeah, we can pull that, but I mean, 3 hearts, even with that blue goo, is not something I really want to do. I'm okay with watching our runners do it, but that's why I'm sitting here.
Right. Well, the thing about Mothula Oh, he's deciding to eschew Thieves Town in favor of it. Anyway, the thing about Mothula is that you're not fighting the boss; you're fighting the room.
Yeah, absolutely.
The room is
Mothula
the boss.
itself is not
Yeah.
difficult.
Yeah, so there's a big magic right over there in that room over there. Assuming it doesn't despawn, but I think yeah, it's fine. Take the express bus. Take the express bus. Come on. All right. Yeah, NDA is going right for it as well. It's a pendant dungeon, Skullwood. So yeah, we don't even know if it's required right now.
Reg, meanwhile, getting that accidental pickup from the from the Wallmaster.
One of the things I enjoy from an inverted seed is a moon pearl that's not necessarily free. And I like that because I enjoy staying in the dark world for longer periods of time and maybe getting a bit of better direction by the time I'm ready to go to the light world, instead of just, getting flooded with checks all over the place and be like, hey, where do you want to go? No choice is worse than the other.
Okay, so I've got to ask, given that this is inverted, right, and the moon pearl can be in some truly terrible places, what do you mean by not free? Are we talking like Bunny Walk to Bottle Vendor and Sick Kid not free? Or do you just mean like, hey, go clear 3 Dark World dungeons first?
I mean, just sitting in a chest in Thieves Town free. That's what I mean.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Reg almost getting picked up again.
You gotta be really careful with his health. Any hit will kill you out here, and then. All right, well, here we go. Your magic is kind of tanked here, and does not get the early double spin. Chapter
that spin would have really helped.
77. Okay, so what are the things you really don't want to be hit with right now? Is you really don't want to be hit with the ring attack, because those do 2 hearts worth of damage, whereas the spikes just do 1.
And
yeah.
Oh. Okay, Reg does pull a lamp out of the bridge there.
Okay, so that's good news right there. That could possibly have implications that the logic is just for the lamp that'll take you up the mountain. However, since this is Ambrosia, which is a alternate version of Ambrosia, there will be an item on Mothula here. So we don't know what that is.
Right, and that's the tricky part, is like keeping count can be somewhat confusing, but all you have to think about it is think about the dungeons the way you would for not key sanity, and then add 1 for the boss. So Skullwoods has 2, and then you're going to find a 3rd one on Mothula, because this is big key shuffle. So I don't recall if we saw another item out of Skull Woods. Do you remember off the top of your head? Alright, Reg is sitting at 2 hearts, so like you said before, wants to avoid everything moth and moth related. Now is sitting on 1, has not popped that blue goo, but is quick swapping to it. Okay, so blue goo is popped. Now we just have to use the rest of the magic to hopefully take down this boss. Whew, gotten it close. We're okay. All right, so we do see a blue pendant pod and green pendant up in TR, which is kind of interesting. A 5/6 crystal sitting on ice, and our remaining one's going to be in the light world somewhere.
So this is an Agaseed I'm expecting. We have a glove and a lamp that'll get us up the mountain. and I would say on average about 70% of Ambrosia seeds are Aga seeds.
Yeah, that does seem to happen a lot. I was wondering if it was just me watching my teammates have bad luck, or if that was more indicative of a larger sample size as well. But yeah, you're saying it's pretty likely.
Now there are options we could take. We could sequence break over to Palace of Darkness and maybe hope something is in there. We do have a fire rod, so we may be able to swim over to Ice Palace and get it out. You don't need Titansmith for that. There's a lot of options we could take right here. If I see flippers, then I may change my mind. There's a Moon Pearl. Okay, see, you remember what I said? You remember where I said it would be?
You did call that.
Totally I totally did.
I'm not pulling a burn the witch comment yet, but you're nearing it, bud.
No, that just pretty much makes me think 90% that this is a logical Aga seed. And then
potentially, we could also just find, mitts or a hammer up here. Hopefully,
we could.
It is possible. Now the lamp is kind of like, hey, knock knock, and I completely agree with you. But I'm hoping for our runner's sake that we don't have to climb Aga Tower.
We got a lamp. We're going through it. I'm calling it now. This is logical Aga. Maybe we can circumvent it, but I don't know. It's almost never worth it to even try.
Give in to the Aga requirement.
Yeah.
Reg, meanwhile, using his flute as a noisemaker.
Dude, there's another problem with an Aga seed and an inverted seed. You don't often see it a lot in a standard and open seed because you're usually just after a while the light world is usually a means of conveyance over to the dark world. In inverted, you're usually going back into the light world, and that Aga post-Aga world state is so obnoxious.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in the eastern area, just the red guards are here to eat your lunch.
All over the place. Just all over the place, and they're all charging at you, and it's preventing you from dashing if you have the boots. It's just a pain in the neck. Speaking of pains in the neck, getting this old man rescued is probably one of the dumbest things in Inverted.
Climb, 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 climb. Climb, 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 climb. Climb, 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 climb.
Please, just spare me, will ya? Madon.
And then if you don't have the mirror, the required S and Q, if you want to go up the up to Aga Tower, is also
Correct.
fun.
Right. So it looks like Reg is not continuing up the mountain. Thieves Town is still open for him. Captain has... No, the Captain did get the lamp. Okay. Hope he doesn't mind me referring to him as the Captain.
I mean, I don't think he'll have a preference either way, but I don't know him too well, so I'm not going to speak too much on his preferences.
Yeah. I've done commentary with the man before. He'll be fine.
Cool. Fair enough.
I remember quizzing him on 1977 trivia. That's a lot of money. We have a comfortable amount of bucks in here.
I mean, to be fair, it is called Thieves Town, so...
Yeah, but you think they put their treasure in better guarded locations? But you notice, there are no thieves in Thieves Town.
Only an Enemizer.
Sometimes, maybe. It takes a wacky mode for the dungeon to get fully thematic. Tisk, tisk.
That jump down is going to be kind of interesting, but he did manage to dodge the boulders, so no harm, no foul.
Yeah, that'll be fine. Or maybe the boulders were dodging him. How hard is that head? We don't know.
I don't know him well enough to make fun of the thickness of his skull, so...
I'll just talk about Deadpool. That is a Deadpool, right? Yeah? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I am honestly I don't want to say this because It'd be the implications that I'm expecting these runners to suffer a little bit more, but I actually really would like to see flippers before I see um, before I see anything else. Even though we can get to the light world by Aga, we can just go right now. I would love to see access to Ice Palace to give everybody a choice.
Yeah, that's fair. I can understand that. In terms of, if we don't find anything, then it's kind of boring. And like you said, it's just go do Aga.
Yeah.
Light World opens up and then pick a direction and run for your life.
Pretty much.
Whereas if we see flippers, then you kind of have, okay, well, Catfish opens up, Pod opens up, Ice Palace opens up. You have some options, and it's options before you get to the Light World, which does make it a little more interesting.
Right, which is why flippers is probably the most interesting item we could find up here on this mountain. For all of the reasons you just stated. Okay. These Lionels coming up. Kind of tricky. The way you want to get through this is you want to take this fireball to the face and then go through it. Because the fireball only does 2 damage, where the Lionels would do 4. And just kill you outright.
Yeah, basically you have the options of take a fireball to the face, or if you don't have 2 hearts, try to time it so you can take a bomb to the back of the head instead.
Again, the Kern jump over here. Let's go.
With 3 hearts, he's only going to get 1 more try at this.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. All right. Will he try again? Perhaps. No.
Nope.
That's too bad. I really wanted to see a Palace of Darkness play, since we didn't find anything in Super Bunny Cave just now. Looks like we're just going to just do Aga, get it over with, accept our Light World obnoxious fate, and pick a direction and go. There are benefits to doing Aga in Inverted. If you are in the Light World and you save and quit after all 7 crystals, you can just open the door right away. It does provide a decent starting location for middle of the road access to a lot of different locations in the Light World. So it's actually not so bad, but man, this tower is boring.
It's not terrible, and honestly, the great thing about this is that we can talk about inverted routing while they're doing it.
So boring.
Oh, it's not that bad. But if they can run it, you can talk about it. Let's go. Come on now. All right, so.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna pop out of here. What would you suggest we do? Are you a Kakariko rusher? Are you heading straight to that density, or do you like taking your time to get there?
I prefer. Oh my gosh, there's so many different things you can do, and the problem with all of it is you leave. No matter what you do, you're leaving something behind.
Yep.
What you could do is. You can go directly to Eastern Palace and get to hospital, because that is a really, really easy to isolate check over there if you do that. But if you do that, you may be compelled to just go into early Eastern Palace without a bow or without a big key or something. So that's an option. You can go directly south and go from the dam out east to Ice Rock Cave, do the Zora area, or take the whirlpool from the south of Ice Rock Cave and then go to Kakariko from there. Or do Hyrule Castle, Graveyard Ledge, Back of Escape, all of that. You could do that too. Or... or what? Or we can turn into that mushroom we have. That's another option we've got.
So I personally think that, so the problem with doing Escape early with the intention of trying to play through it is that there's, 4 chests that you're not going to be able to get to before you get to the Back of Escape. And if one of those has the small key, being the Back of Escape or Sanctuary chest itself, you're kind of screwed. You kind of have to just back your butt out and then kind of go around. Which is an option, but doesn't feel nearly as good as being able to just cut through Escape and then pop out of Sanctuary and then go from there.
Right. So here's what you do. Then you do the first 4, right? Here's what I would do. I would do the first 4 and Uncle. Then I would route over the Ice Rock Cave, then take the Whirlpool over to the west of Sanctuary, and then I do all that from back there. Then I would turn into Mushroom. And then after that, maybe I do Zora. Maybe. From there. Kakariko is kind of easy to access from pretty much all locations we start from. Kakariko is a very dense area, yes, but there's a lot of other very difficult to route in options from Kakariko, because once you're in Kakariko, if you go south, you're leaving the north behind. If you go north, you're leaving the south behind, and you're not coming in from the south.
Right, but then if you can manage to leave the south behind, but you can pull a hammer in what you have, then leaving the south behind isn't really a big deal, because you do have that ready-made portal. It's a gamble.
Thank God it's over.
But it's an option.
Thank God it's over. Anyway, here we are. One way or the other, you're doing Hyrule Castle first, because why wouldn't you? You're right here.
Right, it's right here. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you go down here first and see if you pull that small key. If you don't, maybe you push it back. You go in here, do these 3, then you do Uncle, then if you want to do the Dark Room, you go in after that. Looks like Captain is going right over to the Uncle, though.
I don't dislike that play, because without the mirror, it can make you have an extra Death Warp, which it looks like Reg is kind of prepping for a little bit. He might actually be ready to... Oh, never. Wait. I thought he was going to get ready to steal a key, but he didn't have a key in his inventory, so...
I think that's... Yeah. Not really sure what that was about.
No.
Maybe just decided they wanted to do Uncle first and then go. Oh my! This oppressive guy over here. That guy alone makes Aga worth skipping if you can do it. This guard alone right here.
Oh yeah, no. Those red guards are just terrible. Like. And I did, accidentally, on purpose, stumble across another routing option here, is that you make it a certain distance in Escape. You steal a key, just leave Zelda Cell alone, and cross your fingers and pray to the rando gods that, there isn't something required in there.
That is a very risky move, though, but yeah, it's possible.
Well, it's not a full key sanity, so it's not as risky as it could be. If we were playing like a full keys, I would agree with you. There's a lot more required, but with this, you can hope.
It's risky in the sense that if you leave something in Zelda Cell and you ever have to come back and get it, it's a long hike down there.
Oh, absolutely. It's definitely one of those things where if you leave it, you are just not coming back. It's not happening.
I don't think Reg knows that he does not have that key.
I think you're correct.
I think he just noticed it because he paused there for a second.
Yeah, the pause and then kind of taking a little bit of intentional damage to ease that death warp.
Yeah.
I would have laughed if that was a Sankheart.
Yeah, right. If this is the small key in this chest, I don't know. Will I laugh or will I just... I don't know. I'm not going to laugh. I'll be respectful and I won't laugh if this is the small key. I promise not to laugh. I promise very much not to laugh if this is the small key. Okay, it's Quake, but yeah, you probably want to have that.
Yeah, well, Reg's skipping it, so we'll see if he wants to have it later.
Okay. Well, that just means the small key is in the back there.
Right. So I do find this kind of interesting. I think I would have taken the route to the right up towards the witch to go ahead and turn in that mushroom. But I'm also a little more wary of skipping locations than most people are.
Well, here's what might be happening. This might be play at heading out and terminating at the witch's hut, and then using the whirlpool to get to the area where that the Dark World portal is. And then it's heading southward from there.
I don't think that's going to happen, because I feel like if he was going to do that, he would have jumped into the back of Escape first and then done Graveyard Ledge. Although I might be wrong. We'll see.
Well, from this, you're gonna want to pop out of Sanctuary.
Right. But I mean, there was no reason to walk to Graveyard Ledge and do that first if you're literally going to be walking by it a moment later.
Well, you don't want to. You don't want to head up in that direction.
There's the map and the key in the back, and then we have a big key to Thieves Town, no less. Okay, that's fun.
I believe we saw. Let's see, we saw $300 and a Moon Pearl in Thieves Town, if I remember correctly. So there's 2 other items left in there. One is going to be on blind.
No, there's 3 items because it's a big key shuffle. So we have 2 items and then 1 on blind.
You are correct.
Big key shuffle gets everybody, man.
You are correct, sir.
I don't want to be.
So, it did have 2 chests of rupees. So there was 3 checks. There was 2 rupees and a Moon Pearl.
Okay, cool. So then you are correct. So 1 item and then 1 on blind. 2 total.
We are not turning in that mushroom. Okay.
Yeah, so now this is probably going to follow a pretty standard opening route at this point, just, 25 minutes late, where we go check the forest, go check, Lumberjack Ledge first, might as well. You're literally just boots away from being able to grab this item, so you might as well go see what's here.
You have Agadon, yeah, it's worth it to take a look at, and there's a big key.
Well,
so even if this wasn't an Agaseed, you'd probably want to do that.
Yep, so we're going to go forest into Kakariko. Meanwhile, Captain is taking the south route. So we're going to be getting a bunch of new checks, and then people just kind of following over each other. Don't have to worry about race game today with 3 bombs. Mushroom likewise is dead with $20.
So let's see. We have, of the big keys, we have Eastern Palace, Desert Palace, Thieves Town, Misery Mire known. So of the big keys that are circumventable, there's Tower of Hera, if you can Herapot, Swamp Palace, Skull Woods, and Ice Palace. Those are all circumventable big keys. And then there's Pod and Turtle Rock, which is a pendant anyway.
And Pod's a pendant as well, so...
Yeah. It may not even be likely we need that big key.
So do we? We might not even need any more big keys then.
No, we might not. That's crazy. I'd be very curious to see what medallion is for Misery Mire, because honestly, there's boots. That's very nice. If Misery Mire is Quake, this race could already be over.
It could be interesting. It kind of depends on where the rest of the stuff is. I agree. If this race, if the rest of it just kind of puts itself out in front of our runners, then yes, Reg is at a huge disadvantage.
Yeah.
But Ambrosia tends to like hiding 1 or 2 things in silly places. And if it does hide something else somewhere weird, then it might end up being kind of one of those double hunts where one person's looking for one thing and somebody else looking for another thing.
Yeah. I'm not sure how quickly Reg goes back to that, to the what you call it there? What am I blanking at it? Yeah, the Castle. Jeez, Hyrule Castle. Not on to me.
It's gonna be a while.
Yeah, flippers and hookshot in the well. A cape and a big key to Skull Woods. Okay, so the plot thickens with that big key. We'll have quick access to whatever that key is right there. So our worries will be assuaged in just a moment.
Well, maybe. It might take our runners a little bit to get back there, but yeah.
I mean, here comes Reg right now, right at it. Literally left the well behind just to come up here and do it.
I thought you were talking about the big chests of Skullwoods. Because I think, do we still have an item in Skullwoods?
Yes, we do. We do have one.
Yeah.
Oh, it is Swamp Palace. Okay, well, nice to have.
Yeah, at this point, you're not leaving something behind in there then.
Right. Yeah, I think we may have all our required big keys. Perhaps, unless items are restricting us from certain things. The Ganon's Tower big key is shuffled within Ganon's Tower, so it's not in the wild.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about that, and we still get to play the GT big guessing game, which is everyone's favorite.
I don't like it.
Of course you don't. Just to be
Wow.
contrary.
What? I'm trying to be contrarian. I just don't like it. All right. Yeah, I'd be contrarian. What? All right. These flippers will give us logical access to Ice Palace, and that's fun without a hammer, isn't it?
I mean, it's not without a hammer. I'm right here.
Oh, hey! All right. You're gonna knock down some pegs in the sea for our runners here?
No can do, bud. You can't afford my wages.
All right. So why don't you tell everybody where you're hiding?
See, I'd love to do that, but I don't want to. So
Did you perhaps sign an NDA?
there it is.
All right. Ooh, okay. Almost a sick dodge from Captain, almost dodging that heart piece.
But no, I'm definitely sitting in Ice Palace. It's fine.
Hey, all right, let's go. Casa de pollo. Casa de pollo con 20 dinero.
Yeah, $20 on a chicken hut.
Yeah.
Hoping for something a little more. But honestly, Kakariko's been nice enough to us at this point.
Yeah, we got flippers, we got boots, we got a hook shot. We activated that flute. What else do we get?
A couple of big keys that we could probably leave behind.
An ice rod, which may or may not be necessary, but is nice.
We definitely leave that behind.
Oh, and powder. I didn't even see that.
I mean, it's not gonna matter. We gotta walk right on by it.
Shouldn't be that hard to get back in here. And nothing on the library. That cape, what was on Bumper Ledge? That was a blue boomerang, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
So, there is some new tech.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Captain knows it.
Oh boy. Oh, here we go. We're gonna see Tomb Raider. Oh, this is gonna be good. Maybe. I don't know.
You're getting your hopes up, man. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how many people know it at this point. So
all right. So yeah, Tomb Raider is a relatively new trick. I'll explain it. Oh, why not? Even if Captain doesn't do it. Let's see. He is not going to do it. Okay, so what you do is from that, especially invert, it's really good. From that graveyard ledge, you're going to want to push yourself up against the edge of it without jumping off. Then face right with holding out your sword. And you're going to slash that bush over there. You're going to land in a specific spot. And while holding out that sword with that bush cleared, you're going to want to press down and hook shot at the same time. And you'll hook inside of the King's Tomb. Now, this matters for inverted only because that is literally the only location in inverted that is hard locked by the Titansmith. Everything else is accessible.
Exactly. So if you have access to Graveyard Ledge, and you can do this in either mode, but it makes a lot more sense in inverted because Graveyard Ledge is locked behind much less. You basically just need light world access. Yeah. If you have access to Graveyard Ledge and you have a hook shot, and you like Harapot, we have something very similar. It doesn't even require a bomb to get you in place. Just don't mess up your clip and you'll be fine.
Well, only if you don't have a sword. If you don't have a sword, yeah, you need a bomb.
That's fair, because you do have to blow up that bush, and I think even with a fighter sword, it doesn't quite reach. So
no, you're correct.
Yeah, so if you don't have a sword or have a fighter sword, you are going to need a bomb to blow up that bush on the right-hand side of King's Tomb, so you can hook shot across to the rock. But if you do have a sword that isn't completely useless, then you're good to go.
Yeah. Well, neither here nor there. We're not going to see it. There's a Samaria on the mushroom.
I don't know that I wanted to see that right now.
I'm thinking... You know what I'm thinking?
No.
I'm thinking Misery Mire. Absolutely. 100%. That's... Now that I have that red cane, and with the boots and hookshot, there's a method of ingress into the Misery Mire. Quake, which would open up the door, possibly. Flute that can get me there. Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
I honestly thought you were going to say TR. So,
Well, Turtle Rock, we need in order to get to Turtle Rock. No, we need a yeah. We can get into Turtle Rock, possibly. Oh, a bow and a book. Okay, so now we can do both Eastern Palace and Desert Palace. That's a really, really good waterfall. Oh my gosh.
yeah, this siege has been interesting. It seems to clump stuff together, right? You know, where you don't see anything for a little bit, and all of a sudden it's blam, 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 blam.
Yeah, it's really favoring the density this time around.
Oh, Captain, you need 7 more rupees, bud. Let's hope Sun Prize is, well, you have to, yeah, you have to. Sun Prize? Fair. Wow.
Well, of all times.
As nice as it was, it's not what we wanted to see today.
Of all times. Well, kill someone without a Sun Prize. Maybe they'll drop it. Come on. No. Don't do it. Ah, it's bailing, huh? Okay. Well, we'll see if anything's there. This could be good for Reg.
Yeah, this spot has potential. Speaking of fairies, there's another one. So we're just dropping all sorts of health replenishment here.
Mm-hmm.
That one can just as easily bite you in the butt if it's a situation where you forget you have a fairy and you don't have a mirror. Yeah. So,
Reg did do hobo, right? Went through the bridge. That did happen. Did I hallucinate that?
Believe he did, but now you've got me second guessing it.
Well, I think he did. It was a heart piece. Okay, yeah, you don't want to leave that check alone. It is a very annoying check to reach in inverted. There's only one way to access. That's right here. Hey, we got an armor upgrade. Without a mirror, that kind of sucks.
I mean, yeah, but it can also come in handy in a pinch, you know.
Now let's just hope we can complete all the dungeons we enter.
We have quite a few that we can complete right now.
Where's that hammer, though?
I already told you.
Ice Palace?
Sticking to it.
I'm expecting Palace of Darkness.
Oh, Pod Hammer would be worse. Jeez.
Pod Hammer would be awful. Now, Pod Hammer when Reg was trying to kern jump would have been amazing.
Oh no, that would have been the divergence of the gods right there.
Yeah,
that
would have been savage. That would have been absolutely savage, and would have totally been contingent entirely on if that Swamp Palace big key is at all necessary. Here we go. We're gonna see a play into Eastern Palace now.
I think Reg might head that way as well.
Looks like it.
Yeah, we don't have anything up north to do, so.
Right. I gotta tell you, Hammer, I am absolutely dying to know what medallion opens up to Misery Mire. I am dying to know.
I know, it's killing me at this point, too. I'm not going to even mention what my bias may or may not be in this regard, but yeah, it's definitely a thing. And now we're going to see a whole bunch of red guards.
So annoying.
Hey, at least you're faster than them with spin speed. Like,
yeah, the problem is setting it up.
Yeah, it's fair.
Oh, the Ace of Spades.
That's a terrible spot for that shovel. What the heck?
You know, I'll say this. At least if you find a hammer, it gives you incentives to go do Magic Bat from there. Like, that's another check along that route, at least.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But we're still looking for that. It might be hammer go mode at this point.
Let's
the way
see.
This thing's shaping out.
Oh, what do we need? We need a mirror for Swamp Palace. We need a mirror for Swamp Palace.
Yeah, we need a mirror for Swamp Palace, a hammer for a couple of different things, and maybe a medallion.
And there's Bombos. Okay, well
so less likely to need a medallion now.
Yeah. So we just mirror and hammer.
Did we pull 3 items out of Eastern already, or is Captain making a little gamble?
No, we pulled 3.
Okay, cool. I didn't see the second one. I saw the Burna.
Yeah, we saw Burna. We saw another one that didn't register, and we saw the Bombos. So the fourth item is going to be on our most nice here, which is good.
That second one didn't register for me at all, so I wasn't sure it existed.
Yeah, that's why it did. It was a
$20. There we go. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I know I saw it, but I don't remember what it was. It did not commit it to memory. Wow, none of them dropped anything, huh? I never see that. That is hilarious.
Is that like a 1 in 64?
Where none of them drop a thing? I don't know, maybe.
Well, yeah, because I think it's 50% chance for a drop, right? So you take that to the 6, and you got, like a 1.6% chance. It's terrible.
Oh, does it also depend on what prize pool they're in?
I don't think so. I think it's just 50% all around, but I might be wrong.
Okay. Oh, there you go. We got reloaded.
All right, we'll see if Ray can count here. And he can. Cool. We're good.
Yes. Cool. Way to remember. So I don't know if this is the other red crystal.
Oh, yeah, because we never actually did a map check for it. So
right.
One of these three is the other red crystal, but we really have no idea which one.
Right, but we do know that they are all crystals.
Yes.
I really would like to see a mirror sooner rather than later. Because the mirror does make inverted a lot more interesting, in my opinion. There are certain things that the mirror does for inverted logic that are just a lot of fun. Like, for instance, Turtle Rock routing.
Meanwhile, Red goes 6 for 6.
Yeah, that's where it all went, huh? I thought these were supposed to be standardized.
Feast or famine, it seems like.
Indeed.
Well, this one going a little bit off the rails. We'll see if he can save it. Nope, needed one more hit on that one.
We'll get replenished anyway. Yep,
still got a refill. All good.
No harm, no foul.
I'm not sure how he Houdini'd through that Octo Rock, but like that must have been, because I'm pretty sure he was right on top of that. So that must have been a frame roll, which is spectacular.
Yeah. It's evil black wizard magic.
Also known as I'm going fast one way, you're going fast the other way, and our hitboxes never officially collided. Haha.
All right, so we're going to see Hookshot Cave? Yeah, that's what it looks like. Maybe a Spike Cave as well?
Yeah, meanwhile, Captain is completely and totally enamored with continuing to knock out dungeons and grab Bombo's tablet along the way, which I very much don't blame him.
We may also see Turtle Rock.
That's a possibility. That would be interesting.
I don't think anybody checked it when we were up there earlier, and I don't think anybody went that far.
No. Yeah, we didn't see anything like that.
Oh, Reg didn't even do Super Bunny.
No, he didn't. He bounced clean out. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why they both walked into Aga Tower at about the same time, because Reg was just like, I'm not checking any of this crap. It's an Aga seat.
I'm not going in here. I'm not paying a lot for this muffler. That's a dated reference. Anyway, yeah, probably relieved to not see a hammer or Titansman in there.
Yeah, that would be the epitome of feels bad.
Yeah, it'd be like, oh no, I did this and I could have done that. I am slain. Crestfallen. Man, Hookshot Cave has been a real bummer lately. All right, yep, okay. We're in the Hookshot Cave recession, everybody.
It's because Hype Cave took all of it. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, Johnny Two Bombs took everything from Hype Cave. So we're not getting Turtle Rock then. Okay. We're not even checking the possibility of it.
Right. I can't really say I blame him. But hey, we do have Paradox Cave and all that other fun stuff, so.
You know, we do have access to this area, the light world with the hook shot, but we can't get the Tower of Hera without a hammer.
Yeah, we need a hammer or a mirror to do that.
No, just it's hard hammer. We need. Oh,
that's right.
Yeah. It's just hard hammer. Yeah.
Never mind. Forget it. Inverted.
Yep.
I know what I'm doing. I swear.
It's hammer or nothing. You should make that your catchphrase.
I feel like most time even I'd go with nothing. So
it's hammer or 75% of the time nothing.
Accurate.
There you go. See, doesn't roll off the tongue as well. But you know what? If you're going for accuracy, yeah, go for it. Do it. There's a silvers.
There was something in Paradox Cave. Not strictly speaking progression, but it'll make Vidi, Yeah.
There's only one thing. There's only one thing that's guaranteed to be in Paradox Cave, and that's dashed hopes.
I mean, Silver's made it okay. Like Silver's pre-Moldorm or pre-Vidi. Like
dashed hopes.
I'll take it.
Okay. Especially if Vitreous is on the table right now. Like Misery Mire is looking open.
Yeah, we are kind of dwindling on places to go at this point.
Right.
More so for our knowledge, as our runners are doing completely different things than for the runners themselves. But it is looking more and more like we need to be taking a Flute to Mire now. Please, thank you.
Pretty much. Captain 1977 is clearing this dungeon here. If we find Titansmith, that'll be pretty easy access over here from Reg later. But not really finding anything up Death Mountain. Did we? No, we didn't see anything, did we? Not even
the silvers. That was it.
Yeah. All right. Are we going to Mire? Yes, we are. Okay, here we go. Finally, my questions be answered. If this is Quake, I'm gonna be worried. Oh God. Oh God. Oh no. Oh, that sucks.
The hilarious thing is that this is game 2 for the for these two teams, and last game, both of them basically last locationed their go mode item in the front of Escape. I believe it was like the first chest. It was the map chest of Escape rather than Zelda Cell, but
I just hope Rick remembers about it. That it's a possibility.
I'm sure he's gotten it written down. I'm not sure he's going to be back anytime soon, but...
Well, that's just my main concern, as long as he doesn't forget. Yeah, the logic is putting us directly there. That's probably where a hammer is going to be. Or whatever leads us to the hammer. If I'm being honest. Oh, never mind. Well, never mind.
Alternatively.
Never mind.
The Agana Cave hammer.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
I don't like that.
So that effectively puts Captain 1977 in go mode for mirror.
Yeah, we still need that mirror, but that is it. So
yeah. I'm expecting that to be in Turtle Rock. That is a place where it likes to hide.
Potentially, I don't know. I've seen a lot of seeds where Turtle Rock is just full of nothing. So
yeah,
I think a couple of months ago, I definitely would have said, "Ooh, that sword's nice." I would still say that sword's nice now, just for the record.
Yes.
But I would have definitely said a couple months ago that TR was the place to be for that. But I'm less certain now. We still have a decent amount of stuff to do. I don't know.
Not as much as you might think. We've got Ice Palace and Misery Mire. That's 7 checks between them.
Yep.
And Turtle Rock is the same with the Green Pendant turn-in.
Right, but we also have Hera and Pyramid Bomb as well. So...
And Ether Tablet.
And Spike Cave.
And Spike Cave.
So we have some options here.
Yeah. I would need to see the Turtle Rock entry medallion. If it's Bombos, then yeah, I'm going to stick with my call.
Absolutely, yeah. I would argue if it's Bombos or Quake, then yeah, TR is a density play. I think that if I were playing this, I'd still go after crystals first, just because you hope that if everything goes right, you don't have to walk into TR at all. And if you do, it's like, well, oh well, I kind of made a gamble, and it is what it is.
Yeah. So
in addition to the fact that since our go mode is for Swamp Palace, it's not like we're doing a go mode Swamp Palace versus a full clear Swamp Palace.
Right. So I think it's safe to say that key, that Swamp Palace big key, was entirely unnecessary.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that could matter there at all is the Tower of Herabig.
Right, but I don't think that's going to be an issue for either of our runners. So
it's not. They can both Herapot, right?
I know Ray can. I haven't seen a whole lot of Captain, but I'm fairly certain that he'll be able to as well. We'll see. I mean, if not, this is gonna be a quick dip. So
I mean, he charged right here, just without really hesitating. He just came right here without even thinking about it, and he must be able to complete this. Otherwise, why be so cavalier about coming right here? And there's a small key. That's annoying. I like how there's like 7 different ways of doing this.
I know, and everyone is absolutely certain that the way they do it is the best way too.
The best way for them.
Perhaps.
Whatever allows that to happen for you is the best way.
Right. If you can do that and you feel good about the way you do that, you do that.
Yeah, that's right. Oh boy. Okay, so not only is there an item in Hera Basement, there's also an item in the big chest.
At least we'll get the one off of Moldorm.
At least. I think I may blow my top if it's the mirror, but it's not going to be the mirror.
That would be like
so stupid.
That would be Hera trolling nicely for once in its freaking life.
I think I would actually hate this if this were the mirror. I would.
Captain sure as hell wouldn't. Are you kidding me?
I would probably just really hate. Oh, thank God. Okay. I would be like, why does this not ever happen to me?
I almost had to solo calm the rest of the seat, guys. You have no idea how close that was.
Why always a bridesmaid and never a bride?
Reg, cool it on a quick swapping, bud.
Yeah, I get an itchy trigger finger too sometimes.
All right, so we are checking the basement. That's going to leave us with one item here behind in Hera, unless Hera does a really rude thing and puts that big key in vanilla, which is a possibility, but I'm honestly hoping it doesn't do that.
Honestly, it would be the best place for it. If this big key is vanilla, it would be the best place for it. I'm already here. I just go right back up. It's annoying, but you know what? It's less annoying than finding it in Misery Mire.
And then happen to come back.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I would rather just never find it and just not care about it. Be like, if it's there, oh well, I lose. It's fine.
What? I'm not okay with losing. No! Not okay with this. So Reg is going to get his hammer here in Agina's Cave and probably be happy to see it. And Hera Basement is Bubkiss.
Yeah, but the problem is that hammer is going to push the front of Escape farther away.
Yeah, it is.
Like, that's why I was kind of hoping that, like, best case scenario, Hammer and Mirror are both sitting in Mire. Mm-hmm. And then it's just like, you don't have a whole lot to do, bud. You got to go back eventually. But now more stuff opens up, and
we do Mimic Cave now. I wonder if Captain 1977 will be inclined to come back up for that. Scaling the mountain in inverted is really annoying. Like, really, really, really annoying.
Inverted, also known as Stair Stepper 3000.
Ish. If only it were that simple.
It is. You just have to set a stopwatch for 10 minutes, and
If I could lose weight by scaling and rescaling the mountain in inverted for all the items up here, I probably still wouldn't do it.
Would you lose extra weight for spin speed? Because then I might.
If you could show me a way to spin speed up the mountain here, then yeah, I'd go for it.
I mean, you can hook dash and then pick up a bomb and you scale them quicker. Like that's an option.
Yeah, but I can't spin speed my way through Paradox Cave, is what I'm trying to say.
That's fair.
What does Mimic Cave have for us today? Big key to Tower of Hera.
Oh, that would be. I mean, like that would be again on the level of like fine, but okay. At the same time, it's a little bit of like, okay, heck off.
I would have laughed and laughed. Setting up an icebreaker and looks good. Break on through to the other side.
Yeah, so we still have not seen Spike Cave, correct? That is a.
Yes, we have not seen Spike Cave.
All right, so that is a lone little square up there.
Oh yeah, Thieves Town. I forgot about this dungeon.
We don't need it. Just keep moving.
I mean, there's still a few things left in here.
Sir.
We do have complete access to it with the hammer. We can open up the big chest. We did get that small key really early, which just means the dungeon is unlogic without the hammer. So we could actually see a Hera key in here. I'm not expecting the mirror. I am very much expecting the mirror to be in Turtle Rock.
Why do you have to be rude to our runners?
I'm not trying to be rude. This is just what I expect. This is just where I think I'm going to see it. I didn't even know the medallion requirement for it. It's the logic is clearly pushing us towards a medallion dungeon.
I do find it really interesting that neither of our runners have checked that TR medallion.
Yeah,
they're both just looking at TR like, no, you can't make me. Bye.
Not only that, right? With the mirror, there are plenty of alternative ways into Turtle Rock.
I'm fully aware. Yeah. I'm familiar enough with cross keys to know how this works.
Yes. And we haven't seen it yet. The fact that we haven't seen the mirror this late means it's required for Swamp Palace. If there's anything in Swamp Palace like a Hera key, it's needed. It's required before we get to GT.
Well, it's going to be required before we get to GT anyways, but it could still be just like sitting in Pyramid Fairy. Like,
it could be, yeah.
Or like Smith Chain somewhere, which thus far has been completely ignored by both of our runners. Like, there are options.
We can't do Smith Chain without Mitts or Mirror.
That's right. Well, we'll just have to find Mitts in the Pyramid then. It's fine.
It could be Mitts in TR. And then the Smith Chain could have the mirror.
Yeah, as these locations start to dwindle, it is looking more and more like TR might be an option for something. It'll be interesting to see which one of our runners decides to finally bite the bullet and head up there.
Oh, Captain 1977 will be going to Misery Mire first.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. But even so, we're still running out of stuff. You know, he's also half a dungeon ahead of Reg here, so that might end up being relatively a wash between the two of them, depending on what Reg does after this.
With a quake. I'm still reeling about that quake being required for Misery Mire. I'm still reeling about that.
I mean, I'm not super surprised by it. Like, it is what it is. The initial layout made it seem like we might be okay with only one of them being a crystal, but you know, medallions you always need them. Just at least one required.
At least one for this mode. Well, it's a blue thing. Captain 1977 taking a little bit of a safe way out there with the blue cane. Sometimes blind starts to ad-lib. You just got to do it.
Yeah. So Captain has Ice Palace and Mire still on the docket here.
Right.
Both of them in relatively disparate locations, so it'll be interesting to see where he chooses to go. We go in 6 or 8.
You were going to Meyer.
Meyer first.
Yeah, so Reg did Ice Palace. I think he only got 3 out of the 4 things in there.
Yeah, I don't think he checked Ice Tea. So
no. I remember seeing 2 items. One was a shield. I think another was bombs, and then there was the third on Cold Stare. So none of it was necessary, but I don't remember seeing a 4th item.
I think you're correct. I think he just made that.
All right, our tracker is telling me that I'm wrong and I'm not paying attention and got all 4 items. Okay.
Wow, thank you. That is several dungeons that have just been really kind to us then, because I don't think he ever ended up checking Ice Tea. So
yeah,
we didn't have to full clear Eastern. We didn't have to full clear Ice. Is Meyer going to be nice to us too today? We're going to pull 2 items and get out of here pretty quick.
Perhaps. This is a this is an underdog favorite for the mirror here. The seed has been trying to get us to come to this dungeon since pretty much the very beginning with that Flute and Hype Cave.
Yeah, it's been this one and TR that it kind of pushed us towards early with both of those rods as well. So it'll be interesting to see which one, if either, is the requirement, or if it's just going to be like a double psych out and like the joke is that you were supposed to go to Pyramid Fair or something ridiculous.
Maybe, but I'm still calling Mirror and Turtle Rock, but this dungeon here, Misery Mire, silver medal. Silver medal. It's been suggested we go here from the very start.
Right. It's also the crystal between the two, and you can full clear it, so just go ahead and knock it out, and it is what it is.
Yeah. Which is why I'm really sticking with Turtle Rock, because all that could just be pushing us through Misery Mire just for completion.
I mean, we also could. There's also still an item in Skull Woods.
This is also true.
Which both of our runners seems to have completely forgotten about.
It's not. It's not. It just ain't there. No.
I mean, you can say it. Doesn't make it true.
It's true today.
Most likely. The odds are definitely in your favor.
Reg is going to do Hera here. So my eyes are going to be squarely fixated on Captain 977.
No, Reg is going to do Spike Cave. No.
No.
Never mind.
Okay.
All right, forget it. I thought he was going to knock out Spike Cave. I honestly did.
I wanted to believe you. I did. I wanted to see that.
With as much crap as we give our other teammate Spy for skipping Spike Cave all the time, I figured that he might do it. That's why I thought he was going to do it. Like, that's not the density, but I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if he did Spike Cave before he was completely done with the mountain at this point, just because that particular location has been a frequent in our personal races. So
yeah, it's kind of tricky to get to.
Oh, absolutely. It's terrible even in most regular modes. And in inverted, it's just like, make the climb.
You know what? I'm taking that back. That's a lie. It is not hard to get to in this mode, like at all. Just go. once you're done with all this up here, just go. Just go.
Right, but it's going to be a guaranteed dedicated extra climb of the mountain, which is what makes it.
With hookshot and boots, so like whatever. Just get it done. Did we get 2 items out of Misery Mire?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I saw 2. They were both completely inconsequential, like some money and arrows or something. But
well, let's see what's on Vitreous. Mirror certainly is elusive. It's in Turtle Rock, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. It's there.
I mean, look, as this seed goes on, your guess is, just continue.
Yeah, I can't go back on it now. I can't be a flake.
I also love how you commented on like, hey, everyone does this differently, and sure enough, Reg has a way of doing Harapot that I don't think I've ever seen before. So
that it's at the risk of being I don't know, something. I think that is the accepted new standard for doing it.
I believe so as well. He sent me a video on it, and I couldn't be bothered.
Yeah. It requires the least amount of precision movement.
Yeah.
For a non-boot setup. Oh. What a jerk.
Moldorm being spicy.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of spicy, tomatillo green, eh?
I always thought it was more gelato, honestly.
Gelato? It's like spicy gelato?
Oh, it's gelato eyeballs.
I get it. Nope. Another progression in Misery Mire then, huh? Okay. No problem.
We got a refill, though. We'll take it.
Let's go. So if Ray decides to save and quit, that'll put him on the Hyrule Castle ledge. That is his time to do it.
Wouldn't that be the seed just screaming, hey, you remember that thing?
Yeah, it would. We'll have to ask why he decided to bail on that.
I honestly think he thought he was stealing a key. And then after realizing that he didn't steal a key, decided that it wasn't worth it to waste time to go back.
Yeah, maybe you're right, but... Yeah, going back would feel bad, wouldn't it? I
would have done it, but I have terrible, terrible, terrible feelings about skipping anything in this darn game ever. So
yeah, I hear you. Same.
I thought about skipping something once, and it was my go mode.
We've all been there at least 24 times. At least. Yeah, I think the only safe thing you can do in regards to that is whenever you skip something, you can't hard commit. You gotta have an exit strategy.
See, I actually do the exact opposite. I don't skip anything at all unless I'm fully willing to just hard commit and never go back.
Yeah, and I'm afraid that's what Ray might be what the stance he might be taking here. Quake, blah, medallions.
I mean, to be fair, after all this, we're still searching for that stupid mirror, so...
True,
you know.
Yes.
Ray could feasibly last location this stinking Quake medallion and still somehow have it be a mirror hunt. Like, I don't know where this darn thing is.
So there's a save and quit. Okay, so... Wait. Oh, we don't have a mirror, so we don't start on that! That's right! That's why we haven't been starting there. Okay, we're going to pod. I would love to see Mitts and pod. I would laugh and laugh.
You know what? That's the one thing we've kept forgetting to count towards things that are left over as pod.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's 7. There's 7 just sitting in here. And we're all just content to hope it's nothing because it's pendant friggin' pod.
Yeah. Well, for me, the time to bank on pod has long passed.
Well, yeah. Yeah, but I think this is the last shining beacon in anyone hoping that you're incorrect with your TR play, which at this point, it's seeming more and more likely that it's going to be there. But
it's there.
If it's not here, it's pretty much going to be there, or in one of these really silly one-offs that we haven't gotten to yet. Like,
well, what are Pyramid Fairy? Yes, we have not. Is Pyramid? I don't even know if Pyramid Fairy's in Logic, because I don't know if Tower of Hera is the other red.
Well, it doesn't matter because between Eastern Desert and Tower of Hera, one of them's the red crystal, so we know that both are in Logic. Like, well, it's kind of a weird way to think about it, but we do have access to all 3 of them. So regardless of which ones are either red, we have it.
Well, it matters, and only based on the assumption that the Tower of Hera big key is in Swamp Palace.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's if it is Hera, then we do have to find that big key in order for Pyramid to be in Logic. But
Yeah.
that's only a 1 in 3 chance of that being relevant. So.
Right. It's out there somewhere, but just say it could be mirror locked at this point.
And the great part is, since I'm pretty sure neither of our runners actually even did a light world map check, they don't know either.
Apparently one was done, but nobody caught it.
Got it. Okay, it must have been a quick one then, because I missed it.
Yeah, because you're looking for 3 crystals and you're just like looking to register color.
Right.
Yeah. So Captain set up an icebreaker, but didn't go through with it. So that's buying Reg a little more time here, because that makes this dungeon take just a little bit longer, but like a minute and a half. But it's significant. You know, I hate throwing a bomb at that door when I have boots. I'm like, why did I do this? Why did I do this? What prompted this decision?
A terrible, terrible thing called muscle memory.
Indeed. So, Hammer, what, in your opinion, makes people avoid Turtle Rock so much?
I generally don't. On most places, like unless it's a pendant, and then I just kind of avoid it because it's a bit of a journey to get to, and it's a pendant. So like I don't avoid Turtle Rock specifically. I think for any inverted mode, it's kind of confusing what you can and can't get to unless you're really comfortable with inverted, because inverted's one of those things where like even if you've played a lot of inverted, if you're not in an inverted mode of thinking, then it can trip you up. And likewise, if you've played a bunch of inverted and then you go back to non-inverted, you can get tripped up by simple stuff too. It's a completely different mindset to kind of get your brain into. So I think that complication might be what makes people think about it and be like, this particular seed, I feel like mirror is the thing that makes Turtle Rock not suck for inverted, or allows you to get into a lot of it. And because we don't have mirror, and mirror is go mode, at least on Captain's side, it's a situation where like, well, look, this thing is gonna make this not terrible, and once I get this thing, I won't need to go there. So let's just hope it's not there. Kind of like if you don't have mitts and you don't have a flute and you don't have a mirror and you're like, I really don't want to go do purple chest right now. It's terrible. So you just kind of hope that it's not there.
Okay. It may be as simple as Reg failing that kern jump earlier and just wanting to come in here.
So I did do a quick check, and both of our runners do have Hera as the other red crystal.
Okay, so the Pyramid Fairy is not in logic.
Not until we find that big.
Okay. I think this might be a play at Pyramid Fairy.
Pretty sure, yeah.
And I think... Is Captain going to the Skullwood's big chest?
I think so. I don't think there's anything else up here, so I think this has to be this.
Man, we hate Turtle Rock today.
I'm telling you, I feel like it's just a situation where they both went, hey, mirror would make this nice. I'll do it when I have mirror.
Oh, this is just a pyramid check. Okay.
That's so interesting.
An interesting routing scenario, by the way. If you Houlihan, you pop out of the pyramid.
Huh. Like in the Dark World pyramid hole.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So you could... Wait, hold on. Is it in logic to use that to get over to pod?
I don't think so.
No. Thank God! Thank you, Ray!
Hey, all right, let's go. Here's why. Because if you pop out at that... it's not considered in logic, because if you pop out at that hole, you are... The inverted world state puts hammer pegs around that drop down, so you need hammer to get past it.
That's right. I'd forgotten they added.
Yeah, so that's a way to prevent circumvention of that logic. All right, so here's the thing: he's gonna get this quake, and then not go to Turtle Rock.
Right, he's gonna get this quake, and he's immediately gonna go into Mire.
Right.
Meanwhile, Captain is just finishing up a moth fight that he struggled with earlier with, 3 hard screen mail. So,
Gonna get a $50 bill for his work. I missed him opening that big chest.
I did too, but it's not Mirror, so I don't really care. It's not Mirror, it's not a Mitt. I couldn't be bothered.
Right, okay. Let's see if, I think Captain is gonna go to Pod next. It could be wrong, but
it's going to be Pod or TR. I mean, I feel like that's all he has left. So,
well, in order for Pod to be a thing, we'd need a Palace of Darkness big key.
Yeah.
Yeah, bomb that chest. Bro, that is your fault. That is your fault. You have no right to bomb that chest. That is your fault. You did that. That was a decision you made.
I mean, sure, it doesn't make it any better when you're sitting here looking at it, though.
Right, but you got no right to bomb that. That is your fault. You're not gonna find Mirror in here anyway. This thing is just straight up in Turtle Rock.
Oh my goodness, Captain making some cleanup here.
We didn't do mini Moldorm. I mean, there was absolutely nothing in here, but
no, it was nothing. It was dead as a doornail, obviously, but
yep. Reg is back in this, having already done Pod. If Captain 1977 goes to do Palace of Darkness after this, that puts Reg directly back in contention
with a sword advantage right now.
With a sword advantage, no less.
Because that shovel was holding the swingy for us.
Taking a beating in here, sheesh.
Yeah, this one can get away from you pretty quickly. Okay, so Captain's done everything else flipper-wise, I'm fairly certain. So this is going to be an S and Q. And then we're going to see, is it going to be Pod? Is it going to be...
He's going to go to Zora first, because remember, didn't have the money for it.
Oh, yeah, okay. So he is going to go clean up that square. Okay.
Yeah. Setting up a water walk. He's going there. Yep.
Yeah, good idea.
Interesting choice to use a potion there when you have a bunch of anti-fairies you could use for health. But hey, you know what? I'm not playing the game here.
Yeah, honestly, I think that was a situation where he just looked at it like, you know what? I'm not going to die in here normally, and I just don't want to die right now, so let's just do it.
Homeboy is also going straight for the boss. Just
he probably feels ridiculously behind right now, and if he doesn't come back in, that is going to be a nice little time gain here.
Yeah,
because he's going to be done with Vitreous within the next, handful of minutes. So
yes,
even at this point, if he doesn't go back into Meyer and Captain doesn't go into Pod, it's still going to be relatively close. So we'll see what he ends up doing. Because I do feel like Reg has cleared this seat a little more completely than Captain has, with Captain still having the shovel that hasn't been picked up and stuff like that. So we'll have to end up seeing where the rest of this goes. It does not look like a Pod play.
Where could this go? The Flute?
Yeah, it's either going to be 1 or 5.
If it was, this is
Catfish. Okay. Which is, again, something that Rake has already checked. So, So at this point, is it just sitting in TR? Or,
yes.
Unless the only exception for this is if the big key of Hera is in TR,
yes,
and our actual progression does end up being in the Pyramid Fairy.
Or God forbid, in Tower.
In that big chest.
All right, so I think with this Vitreous kill, we've pretty much reached parity with each other here.
Yeah, more or less. There are some small differences, but yeah, more or less.
Yeah, like a full Pod clear, as far as we can go anyway.
Right, Pod clear by Reg. Reg has also pulled a couple of one-offs, like that shovel being the biggest thing. Reg is going back in. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not much left here. I don't blame him. Like, there's really not much left in this game left to clear.
Yeah, after isolating that quake, maybe feels burned by that kind of play. But he'll find his other 2 items relatively quickly, and then I think he'll be forced to go to TR, or maybe he'll pyramid, maybe.
Right. The pyramid play is the trying to get cute play. It's like I'm going to try and be cute here and avoid this and hope that I get lucky. Wait, neither of our runners had checked Pyramid Fairy Pyramid Ledge until recently? I did not know that. I thought
I know. I was really expecting a fairy to play through that. Oh, Captain is going to pod. Okay. So Reg is going to pull ahead.
Yeah, and at this point, it's just going to be, is he going to grab that bomb and try to sequence break it? Or is he going to hide in the corner and wait for that fire snake to get moving?
Fine, you got this. I hate that when it. Okay, that's fine. Hey, we got there. All right. Yeah, I don't think there was anything in the cutscene chest.
I don't believe so.
I remember not seeing it from the captain. And there's the map, and I think
this is going to be our last item.
It is, yeah. No, it isn't the cutscene.
So it is. Wait. So then, did Captain skip it?
He did.
Because I don't remember seeing a cutscene from him. No, I might very well be wrong, but
I don't remember seeing that. He was definitely in Misery Mire for a much shorter amount of time than I had anticipated.
Right, because we've only seen the $5 so far, right? Out of the non-vitreous items, which means we have another one.
Yes. I guess we do. I guess I just improperly assumed that all 3 had been found. Rumble.
Yeah. It's one of those things that's not often messed up, but still on occasion you just get the timing wrong and you're like, dang it.
Well, I guess the mirror could be in here after all.
That would be a wild turn of events I wouldn't wish on anyone.
Right. A complete reversal of fortune.
Not here. Throw it in TR, but don't put it here. Okay.
All right.
Which, ironically enough, makes death warping even more fun if you have to do it.
Yeah. That, if the mirror was there, that would have been like the plot of Trading Places.
Right. All right, so Reg is not being cute here. We are heading into TR. We do not know the medallion.
Go to Spike K first.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, that's right.
Just go there first. Do it.
Hopefully.
Do it. Yep, he's leaning downwards. There it is.
Okay. Well, because he knows that I would never forgive him if he left something in Spike Cave after all the times that Spy's done it.
Bro, you got half magic and burn. Just go. There you go. All right.
I feel like that was more like muscle memory than actually needing it. It's just like, okay, swipe the. Wait, no, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna save and quit out of here anyway. You're gonna start with the same amount of hearts you went in with. It's fine. Just go. You got it.
Right, and then Turtle Rock has a full magic decanter waiting for you, and we're obviously going to have enough to use the medallion.
Here is your prize for your diligence. No, delete the mouth. I don't. This is driving me nuts. Why aren't we going to Turtle Rock?
That's what you get. That's what you get.
Why aren't we going to Turtle Rock?
You were talking crap.
Why?
You were talking crap for Spike Cave, and you got juked.
I got juked. Why? Why aren't we going in?
Is he checking? Can it even? Oh, could it be Ped?
I mean, this is the way you get to Kakariko. You have to go through this.
I mean, yeah, but we haven't checked Ped either, which technically is a possibility.
Yeah, it's very unlikely.
Sure, but at this point, We've done most of the likely stuff, and we're just ignoring TR. So
yeah, but we need both a pod big and a Turtle Rock big in order for that to be a possibility. We would need both of those.
Which is probably why Reg is doing the bat here. Because if the bat pulls like a TR big, you'd feel like an absolute moron if you did half a TR and then had to come back down.
Well, yeah, the time to do this was right after the shovel, I think. Then here we are. Oh, crap.
The last spot that wasn't TR.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, no. That's awful.
Well, let's go mode for Ray. Well.
And right now, I can guarantee the only thing he's thinking to himself is, at least I didn't go into TR. Man, this seed just ropes you along.
It's so close. It's looking so good.
It was. I had all but given up. I was like, darn, he's right. He called that crap immediately. And the seed was like, but there's one more location.
One more. God damn it.
And I'm pretty sure that's actually it. Like, I'm pretty sure that we actually don't have anything else.
Not in logic, no.
Right. Like,
for all I know, Turtle Rock is ether. We never actually looked.
And we're not going to at this rate.
No, we don't. No, we can't get the helmet sword. We don't have a key.
Yeah, because it looks like Captain's gonna at least do this shovel. Although this might be a bomb play. This might be a big bomb play.
You know, it can't be. We need the mirror for that. I'm just realizing. We need the mirror for that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right. No, we would. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good call. So then it's not even that. So this is a shovel into hopefully
Magic Bat? Yeah.
Hopefully.
Well, if Captain 1977 goes to Magic Bat right after this could, in fact, lead us right down to GT routing. And since he can't just mirror and flute away, it looks like that's what's going to happen. All right, we got a race here.
Yeah, we still have plenty of time, plenty of GT routing.
Reg with a I didn't see the time index at which he entered Swamp Palace.
It's probably about a 3-minute head start, maybe 2, somewhere between 2 and 3, I would say.
Okay.
So enough to feel good, but not enough to secure anything with all of GT and Ganon sitting at us. So
mirror was there. I'm so mad.
I know you are. And what makes it even funnier is that both runners refuse to fall for the TR.
I mean, yeah.
Because, like, to be honest, if either of them had gone into TR at any point, we would have both been like, yeah, good call. It's density. You can do at least a handful of things in here, assuming it's not ether, because we don't even know the medallion for it.
Yeah.
But they just both went no, and that's what makes it funny.
Trying not to be angry, but I'm failing.
Hey, it's okay.
Not to be mad.
Sometimes
friggin' mad.
Sometimes you get baited, and that's okay. The great part is that neither of these runners got baited. Give them a follow.
Do you remember where that powder was?
Oh man, we've had that for a minute. Like we got that before we even found the hammer. So
that was in I think that was in Kakariko. Pretty sure that was in Kakariko.
Yes, we found it in CAC because I made a comment about it was like back at the bar because you were like, I didn't remember seeing that there when Reg picked it up, and I said, well, it doesn't matter. They can't do anything anyways.
Yeah.
So they've been sitting on that powder for almost an hour now.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, now you save and quit. Save and quit. Save and quit. Beautiful. Very good. Okay. Perfect. And then boop. Right open.
All right, so there are 22 locations in the basement of GT. One of them has the big key. We swear, we promise.
Entering at 129.30. Okay.
TJ, what you got? Where are we?
I got Turtle Rock.
You son. That's not how that works. All the big keys are.
No,
well,
don't tell me. Let's go. Yeah.
Oh, I think my co-commentator feels better now. Oh, man. Anyways, so with that small key, Reg is heading straight to the right because he knows that I would make fun of him if he didn't. And so we're going to get 3 through 6 coming up here. I'm not sure if he's going to choose to go straight over to Ice Armos first, or if he's going to instead use that wonderful mirror that he just received and head over to the left-hand side.
Oh, boy. I wonder if he remembers that. Is that it? Or pod? Okay.
Okay. I would have,
I would have laughed, yeah.
There would have been legitimate tears. Reg, okay. Whew.
Yeah,
I was
in the small. Yeah.
Reg, you need a key.
Yeah, I made that mistake as recently as yesterday.
Yeah, so essentially what happened, in case you missed it in chat, is the first chest that Reg opened up was a big key.
Right. So
For TR.
Hammerhead asked me, where do I think the big key was? And my answer was Turtle Rock.
Right, and that's the great thing is that that's been an hour-long conversation of where do you think Go Mode is, and this poor man has been saying Turtle Rock for the last hour. The hilarious thing is that as this race went on, it was looking more and more likely that the mirror was going to be in TR, but we literally last locationed the mirror in locations outside of TR in Magic Bat. So that was the joke.
It was a funny joke. I laughed. I laughed until I cried.
It's okay. At least you got your TR comment there, so, you know.
It was all worth it. It was all worth it. But Reg is playing Footloose and Fancy Free with his health here. I wonder if he remembers that his stun prize is a fairy.
I'm not sure he ever checked.
That's a good point.
I think the 2 fairies I've seen have been on Captain's side.
And Captain will save and quit? Okay. All right. So Reg entered at 129.30. And Captain will enter at, say, 132.15? Yeah, 132.15.
Yeah, so about 2 minutes 45 seconds.
Yeah,
now, the thing that we're hoping here is that he does not pull Hope Room and then go left. That would be bad.
Yeah, Reg already has a pretty good lead on him as it is. Nope.
Oh, no.
That's unfortunate.
I said, don't do that. Okay, so now this is going to be Reg's race to lose because it's going to be about 4 minutes until he gets back here quickest. So,
yeah, my preferred GT route with silvers is to Dark Magician into full right. Nice shot.
That was a nice shot. Silvers are hard to commandeer sometimes.
All right, let's see. Let's see how we can rate Landmo on the meatloaf scale. That is a ooh. That is. But I won't do that on the meatloaf scale. It's too bad.
Yeah, it looks like his first silver got eaten by an input there, and then timing was just all the heck.
Well, what else can we find in here? Ether?
Yeah, Ether's sitting here somewhere. It looks like we have a bug net. We do have another sword.
There is another sword.
There's also the mitts somewhere.
Somewhere? Where can I say? Don't know.
We do have a pod big. That is a possibility.
There's a pod thing out there somewhere, yeah. All these things are interesting, but not necessary in the least.
And then a handful of bottles, I think. At least 2, but I might be wrong there.
Yeah, there's 2 bottles unaccounted for because Reg has 2.
Yep, so we got a handful of things out here. We also could find any of those things in TR.
Which we could have accessed a long time ago in Logic with the mirror from Magic Bat, I guess.
Yeah, see, but the great thing is we didn't have to. There was nothing there.
Man, why would you ever choose to not go into Turtle Rock?
Because there's nothing there.
There's the pod key.
Did he really just pull
There's
2 big keys and neither of them are the... Oh, that feels bad.
That does feel pretty bad. Yeah, that is bad. That stinks.
Oh!
Voldorm
2 almost making Reg dance there.
Right. I mean, if Reg makes no more mistakes, it's inconsequential anyway.
Oh, absolutely, but it's still rude. Inconsequential rudeness is still rudeness, and pulling 2 big keys in GT that aren't the GT big is rude.
And no amount of routing would have changed the location of those keys at this point. I think that was a single.
I think it was too.
That was a double.
That was a double, yeah.
Oh, nice pattern. That was definitely a double. Those 2 hit at the same time. Those 2 didn't collapse. There you go.
Yeah, it just sucks that he ended up hitting him with basically, 9 balls. Because
Yeah.
there was a double there at the end that only counted as 1.
Yep. Mic check. 1 2 1 2.
Alrighty. So now we just have a pig.
We eat the pig and then to get by her mitts there. Why is that there? Why are mitts there? This place is the land of misfit toys. Shit.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I love how after all of that, you couldn't even be nice enough to give the man a gold sword.
For real. I mean, I don't think Reg opened up the other chest inside of the compass room there.
No, yeah, he only opened up the first one, I believe, and then just went, I'm gone. He thought about it for a minute and then went, I have tempered swords, silvers, I don't care.
Yeah. Good enough.
And I can't imagine the captain's going to be doing anything different. Pretty sure he's just going to grab it and go.
Grab it and go. Oh, or just get that one and leave. Okay. So there's one, well, I guess 2 chests 3 we didn't get in GT. Like that lower left one, the GT big chest, and tile room.
Well, no, it's 4 because he didn't get either of the bottom ones, right? Captain only got the 2 up top. So it's 2 in the bottom, the GT big, tile room, and then the 4 up top that Reg.
Oh yeah, plus whatever's on the climb, right? Yeah, there's that.
Right. So.
All right. Okay, we got exchange of hits there. You can get a double out of this. There you go. And uno mas. Done.
Whew. And with all of that insanity, we have a 1x3 bridge to climb, or cross, or teeter-totter over. And Reg finishes in first place with an official racetime.gg time of 1:38:07. Goodness, that was a thing. Also, hello, Reg, my friend.
Oh,
how about that quick medallion in Escape that you skipped?
He doesn't want to talk about it.
Oh, yeah, but he knew it was coming.
Oh, yeah, oh, okay. Yep. Okay, bye. I guess we're not going to get our answers. He's he's shy.
No, he's fighting with his microphone, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, his microphone is shy. All right, what's your guess for Captain 1977's meatloaf scale here? You got All right, we got Let Me Sleep on it. All right.
Still nice cleanup there. Able to get a bowl second cycle there.
Yeah, but you want like a bat out of hell.
I mean, yeah, but sometimes that's not what you get. You can't always get what you want.
No! That is a different rock group.
I know, that's why I said it. This is what we call being a brat. This is what we call not in TR. Oh no!
I wonder
my man was 3 pixels too low on that one.
Yeah, he might be playing on tilt too, finding that key when he did.
I mean, you know what? After you find 2 big keys in GT that aren't the big key for GT, that's not even playing on tilt. That's just being human.
And mitts, not to mention mitts.
And mitts, yeah,
that was funny. I laughed.
I think I am alive. Hello, everybody.
Oh, there you are. Okay. We have questions. Well,
where's that Quake medallion? Come on, Ray.
Where'd it go?
There are like 7 different things you could flame me for over this seed, and you go for the most obvious one.
Well, I mean, we start there and work our way down. Honestly, that was the only real pressing issue we were.
I mean, the intent was to steal the key from the guard, except I muscle memory burned the key.
I was wondering if that's what happened. Yeah.
And then I just go back for the checks later if I needed to. Like doing that makes your routing so much smoother because you don't isolate the North Dark World.
That's fair. I just thought it was funny that that happened in both games. There was something in Escape that gotten too late.
Yeah. The only thing is if there's a small key in that first chest, but nope. So I just brain farted. I didn't even successfully steal the damn key. Pardon my language.
That's all right. I think.
But that mirror was absolutely not coming out for anybody.
Yeah, I was absolutely calling for that in Turtle Rock pretty much the whole game. And it was right up to the wire.
Yeah, I was feeling bad about the Quake, but when mirror wasn't behind it, I started feeling fine again.
Yeah.
Because I knew that there was never a good time to go back for that location.
So neither of you, by the way, checked the entrance of Turtle Rock, which means you were really hard committed to never going in and never bothering. What was the impetus behind that decision? Like, why never check?
So going in the front door of Turtle Rock and inverted kind of sucks. I was waiting until I had mirror to check it.
Okay.
I called it. Let's go.
Well, at the time when you were looking for mirror, though, it's all right. Okay.
If it wasn't on Magic Bat, I was out of checks anywhere else, so
right.
I would have had them.
I'm still actually kind of wondering what the medallion requirement is for it. I never actually saw. Didn't even look.
But I was never going to show it unless I had to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just interesting the captain made the same play as you did and just like not even going over there and looking. And then homeanwhile, my man TJ over here was talking about there's going to be something in TR for like an hour.
Swore up and down it was going to be there.
And the locations just dwindle and dwindle and dwindle. And then we'd forgotten about Magic Bat because you got that powder in Kakariko, and then Hammer was so late that like you didn't really have a chance to go there, and then it was isolated. And you finally went over there. I'm like, oh yeah, we have this check, and then it ended up being the mirror, and it was just hilarious.
Yeah, it really wasn't, but yeah.
Oh, Captain took a death here. Gonna have to start the fight over.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
That is very unfortunate.
Ganon hurts.
Yeah, and I guess he didn't bother checking the other items in Meyer looking at this screen. You don't have that red mail.
No, yeah. never went to cutscene. Yeah, we were kind of confused by that because we weren't really exactly counting the items in Misery Mire because we had both of y'all to look at. So we had assumed that all 3 were found, but when you went back in for cutscene, we realized that, yep, something was left behind in there. It was a damn good thing for Captain. Oh, take another death. Ugh, darn.
Yeah, fire bats are pretty painful. And then Ganon even more so.
Yeah, Ganon being tough today.
You feel it, but
So yeah, overall, what did you think of the seed? How was the routing from your perspective? It seemed to be relatively clean, honestly, except for that late quake, which obviously I had to give you a hard time because it's in escape. But
Yeah.
yeah, aside from Quake and Mirror, everything flowed pretty well after killing Aghanim. Like my biggest routing hiccup before Quake was I got sniped by that ghost trying to get into Thieves Town the first time.
Yeah, we did notice that.
Yeah, if that didn't happen, I would have been to Aga a fair bit quicker, and then been to the rest of the Light World quicker. But
Right.
so it goes.
We noticed you tried to kern jump to pod. Were you attempting to circumvent it? Thinking the hammer
No,
miss might be there?
I mean kind of, but I've been burned plenty by catfish in particular in inverted.
Yeah.
So I wanted to take the chance to just knock that check out since I did have a glove, since I was on a
Wait,
saving anyways.
well, you did have a flute. So fluting to 2 and doing catfish that way is also something you can do
That's what
later.
I did later. But I wanted to just do it while I was on the saving quit.
That's fair. Yeah.
You can't activate the flute in the Dark World.
Right.
and then I assume that the Lionel skip until after you had done Aga was just because you were feeling like there probably wasn't anything over in Super Money.
I didn't feel like it was worth. I'm not consistent at it with just 3 hearts.
Yeah, that's fair. This seed was absolutely not giving you anything early. So
And I felt
Yeah.
that favored me early on because I was able to play Mothula and win the fight on that. But
yeah, that was where Captain took his early death. You took yours right outside the door of Thieves Town, and he took his on Moth. Had to come back later and beat it, which obviously wasn't a huge deal because Moth didn't have anything. But
No, I was worried about the fire rod in Hype Cave and the early logic for the simple fact that if it's 3 heart Mothula is a thing.
oh yeah, I completely forgotten about that. How about
Yeah.
Hype Cave? Holy cow!
Yeah.
Guard, give me a hell yeah.
Oh yeah, Johnny 2 bombs. Let's go.
Yep. And then Lamp right behind that fire lord. That's everything just kind of flowed until the end game.
Captain, GG's my friend. Ganon's a jerk.
Hey, GG. Yeah,
Hello.
I wasn't looking at the race room at all during the whole game, so I didn't know he finished already. So, but yeah, oh well.
Yeah, it was a rough one. I next to last located Quake, and then I last located Mirror.
Yeah, I also less located mirror, so yeah, just did it a little bit faster, I guess. But yeah, I feel like I had Quake fairly early-ish.
See, what I did was I went to the map chest of escape, and then I didn't do the rest intentionally.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, Quake was his own, so that's right. Yeah.
Yep.
I botched it, but my intent was to steal the key and go straight through Dark Cross to Sank, and then go back for those other 2 tests later. Makes it easy to not isolate Graveyard Ledge and Sanctuary that way.
I mean, just go to Magic Bad. That's all you had to do. I mean, geez.
Yeah, I mean, I was using the Ace Attorney MSU. Maybe I should have imitated the Phoenix Wright player a bit more and just gone there. He's famous for that, right? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm stuck on old memes still because this was my first 1v1 race in since season 2, which was 3 years ago, I want to say.
Damn, that long? Wow.
Yeah. Played a couple of bigger races, but not 1v1s.
I mean, for the most part, I felt like it was okay. That, of course, the beginning game's always kind of rough on me, but
Yeah,
for the most part, it was the routing seemed okay, I guess. But Yeah.
You do your Sphere 1 stuff, you get the lamp under the bridge, you go kill Aghanim, and then you just get all the things in the light world.
That's how inverted usually works.
Yep. I mean, literally, you just Kakariko circle all the way around the world. Like I ran all the way down. I did South Shore. I went to Zora, and then I ran out of Zora to turn in my mushroom, and then I ran from there to Eastern.
I took a slightly different path, but yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, you were really focused more on getting those crystal dungeons done, which was keeping you ahead for the most part while Reg was looking for that quake. Just didn't get to that. Just didn't get to that magic bat. There was really not really a good way of getting back there. That was an isolated check in a Kakariko, which was already cleared. It was really only until you decided to explore the shovel, which is when you decided to route it in.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's a good way to route it bad with the mirror, but if he has the mirror, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I think actually Reg had pulled the sword out from the dig spot far earlier. I think after he was that before or after Hammer. That was before the Hammer, wasn't it?
Yeah, I did shovel, then ran in the desert from there.
Right. If you had the hammer at that point and got the mirror, that might have been pretty bad. You would have been put further off from that quake.
Well, the thing is, at that point, I was like, I hard last located it. I might have. Well, no, I would have done all the Swamp Palace and I guess probably Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because Mirror would have given me several options there.
Indeed.
Why didn't you do that then? God.
Oh, no hammer.
What do you mean? I'm here.
You said you were an Ice Palace. You give me crap about Turtle Rock.
Somebody get this guy off the stage. We don't want him here.
Yeah. I mean, this is one of the better Ambrosias I played over the last week, so I'm not really too mad about this one. So, but
yeah, any Ambrosia seed where you find the book along the beaten path is nice. Where you have all the big keys relatively early, yeah. Whenever you're not looking for a book or a big key or an ice rod in an Ambrosia seed, I'd say it's a pretty friendly seed, and this was one of them, yeah.
And you got to skip all of TR.
Why would you want to skip TR? That place is great.
Not today, one.
I should have skipped all the pod.
Yeah, Reg. It's okay. Reg did all that too.
Yeah. Oh well. No, GG's again.
Yep. GG's, and I don't know. I'm still just. I feel like me playing this 3 years ago would have crushed it, but that's not me. Not anymore.
Any land that you can walk away from, right?
Yeah.
Alrighty, so on that note, if you like what you saw here, we do have a bunch more stuff coming up today. I'm sorry about that. I thought I had my button pressed down. Apparently I didn't. So we have, for Invitational, we do have a race going on tonight, starting in about 6 hours from now on Speed Gaming. That one is Don't Forget to Track Us versus 2 Pearl, 2 Furious, PRD Wong versus Trinex. And then Open League, I think we have a couple that are going on. If I can get it to load. There we go. Yeah, we don't have anything on the docket for today definitively, but keep an eye on that schedule and definitely follow the ALTTPR ALTTPR League and the corresponding channels, because we're going to obviously have a bunch more stuff. This is only week 2. We have a boatload more races to get done. So I do believe that's all I've got. Shout out to our wonderful tracker, Lady Laura Linda, for keeping us honest on stuff several times. And as always, it was a blast to con with you, TJ. I think this was our first time. I look forward to potentially doing one later.
Yeah, this was great. We laughed, we cried, we got mad. I got mad. Maybe you didn't, but I got angry.
I was more bemused than anything else. But anyways, yeah. I've been Hammer Bro. That's all I've got. TJ, if you want to take us out, it's all yours, man.
All right, well, I got nothing left to say except for everybody have a great night and be sure to stick around. There's a lot more league action coming at you, as we said. Just keep your eyes out on that Twitch page. Give everybody a follow. Reg, Cap1977, Mr. Hammer, and TJ Maelstrom, and our tracker, Lady Laura Linda, again. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and have a wonderful day.